Upbeat, mysterious music starts and fades slightly to the background. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're embarking on an incredible journey through time and across vast landscapes. When I say Great Wall, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For most people, it's the Great Wall of China, a monumental structure visible even from space. But what if I told you that Africa has its own Great Walls? Massive, ancient, and shrouded in mystery. Now, many of you might have heard of the Walls of Benin in Nigeria, often cited as one of the largest man-made structures on Earth. It's an incredible feat of engineering, and it rightly deserves its fame. But this has led to a common misconception that all of Africa's Great Walls are in Nigeria. Today, we're going to bust that myth wide open. We'll explore the true extent of these phenomenal earthworks, uncovering a story that stretches across the entire continent, from the Sahel to southern Africa. So, grab your explorer's hat because we're about to rewrite the map of ancient African civilizations. Let's start with the most famous of these structures, the Walls of Benin. Located in present-day Edo State, Nigeria, this was not a single wall, but an intricate network of walls and moats, known as Iya in the local Edo language. Construction is believed to have begun as early as 800 AD and continued over centuries. At their peak, the total length of these earthworks was estimated to be over 16,000 kilometers, or nearly 10,000 miles. To put that into perspective, that's 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China. These weren't just defensive structures, they were a complex system of social organization. The inner walls protected the Oba's palace and the homes of the nobility, while the vast outer network demarcated farmlands and more than 500 interconnected villages. Imagine a sprawling, ancient metropolis, meticulously planned and protected. The main moat, or ditch, was dug so deep that it formed a significant barrier, and the excavated earth was piled up to create the ramparts. It was a monumental undertaking, all done with simple tools and immense human effort. The sheer scale tells us about the power, wealth, and sophisticated administration of the Kingdom of Benin. It's a testament to a highly organized society, long before European contact. Sadly, much of this incredible heritage was destroyed during the British punitive expedition of 1897, but archaeologists continue to uncover and study the remaining sections, piecing together the story of this lost wonder. But the story doesn't end in Nigeria. Far from it. Let's travel east to the Horn of Africa, specifically to modern-day Ethiopia. Here we find another magnificent example, the Walls of Harar. Harar is a historic walled city, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and is considered the 4th holiest city of Islam. The walls, known as the Jugol, were built between the 13th and 16th centuries. Unlike the earthen ramparts of Benin, the Jugol is a formidable stone wall, standing 3 to 5 meters high. It encircles the entire old city, stretching for about 3.5 kilometers, and punctuated by 5 original gates. Each gate had a specific name and purpose, controlling the flow of people and trade into this bustling commercial hub. Why were these walls built? Primarily for defense. Harar was a powerful and wealthy city-state, a major center for trade and Islamic scholarship, and it faced constant threats from surrounding peoples. The walls were its shield, allowing its unique culture to flourish within. Walking through the narrow, winding alleys of Harar today feels like stepping back in time. The walls are not just a relic, they are an integral part of the city's identity, still standing guard over its 82 mosques and countless shrines. It's a living, breathing monument to a golden age of Ethiopian history. Now let's journey north, across the Sahara, to a place you might not expect to find such structures, modern-day Mauritania. Here, in the vast, arid landscape, lie the ruins of ancient caravan cities like Oualata, Chinguetti, and Tichit. These cities were crucial stops on the trans-Saharan trade routes connecting West Africa with the Mediterranean world. And to protect their immense wealth, gold, salt, and other precious goods, they built impressive defensive walls. The Tichit-Walata region in particular is home to some of the oldest stone settlements south of the Sahara, dating back to 2000 BC. The people of the Dar Tichit tradition built fortified villages on the cliffs of the local escarpment. These weren't just simple walls, they were complex settlements with distinct compounds, evidence of a hierarchical society. These structures were made from slabs of local stone, painstakingly arranged without mortar. They stand as a silent testament to ancient communities who mastered survival and thrived in one of the world's most challenging environments. These walls tell a story not just of defense, but of adaptation, trade, and the dawn of urbanism in West Africa, long before the great medieval empires rose to prominence. Our journey now takes us south, all the way to southern Africa, to the lands of modern-day Zimbabwe and South Africa. Here, we find a different kind of Great Wall, but no less impressive. I'm talking about the stone-walled ruins of the Zimbabwe Plateau, the most famous of which is, of course, Great Zimbabwe. This monumental city, which gives the modern country its name, was the capital of a vast kingdom from the 11th to the 15th centuries. The ruins are divided into three main areas: the hill complex, the valley complex, and the iconic Great Enclosure. The walls of the Great Enclosure are its most stunning feature. They are up to 11 meters high and 6 meters thick, built with granite blocks expertly fitted together without any mortar. This technique, known as dry stone walling, is a hallmark of the civilization. The sheer precision is breathtaking. For decades, colonial historians refused to believe that indigenous Africans could have built such a sophisticated structure, proposing outlandish theories of foreign builders. But archaeology has proven definitively that Great Zimbabwe was the product of the local Shona people. It was a center of trade, with artifacts found from as far away as China and Persia. And Great Zimbabwe is not alone. There are over 200 similar, though smaller, stone-walled sites, or Zimbabwes, scattered across the region, like Kami and Danamombe, forming a vast network of power and influence. Just across the border in South Africa, we find even more evidence of widespread stone-walled settlements, particularly in the Mpumalanga province. These ruins, sometimes referred to as the Lost City of the Lowveld, cover a staggering 10,000 square kilometers. They consist of thousands of interconnected stone circles, linked by long, winding stone walls. These weren't necessarily defensive walls in the same way as Benin or Harar. Instead, they were used to create family compounds, manage livestock in kraals, and delineate terraced fields for farming. What's fascinating here is the sheer density and complexity of the layout. Viewed from above, it resembles a vast, interconnected stone web stretching across the landscape. Researchers using LiDAR technology have mapped these structures and believe they represent a massive agricultural society that flourished for centuries, perhaps peaking in the 16th century. They call it the Bokoni Society. This network of walls speaks to a deep understanding of landscape management, social organization, and sustainable agriculture. It completely upends the old colonial narrative of an empty land and reveals a populous and highly organized pre-colonial civilization. So, what does this continental tour tell us? It shows that the impulse to build big, to shape the environment, and to create monumental structures was not confined to one region of Africa. From the earthen ramparts of West Africa to the stone fortresses of the Horn, from the desert cities of the Sahara to the intricate stone landscapes of the South, ancient African societies were building great walls for a multitude of reasons. They built for defense, like in Harar. They built to organize their sprawling societies and farmlands, like in Benin. They built to manage trade and resources in harsh environments like in Mauritania. And they built to signify power, manage agriculture and create sacred spaces like at Great Zimbabwe and Bokoni. These structures are not just piles of earth and stone, they are libraries of history. They tell us about the political systems, economic activities, religious beliefs, and social structures of the people who built them. They are irrefutable evidence of advanced engineering, sophisticated urban planning, and immense collective effort. They challenge the outdated and simplistic views of pre-colonial Africa and replace them with a picture of dynamic, complex, and innovative civilizations. The misconception that Nigeria holds the continent's only Great Wall does a disservice to this rich and diverse heritage. The reality is a continent-wide tapestry of monumental architecture, each thread telling a unique and powerful story. So the next time you hear about the Great Walls of Africa, remember it's not a singular story, it's a plural story. It's the story of Benin, yes, but it's also the story of Harare, of Tichit, of Great Zimbabwe, and of countless other sites still waiting to be fully understood. These structures are a proud part of Africa's legacy and a global heritage that deserves to be celebrated and protected. Thank you so much for joining me on this archaeological adventure across Africa. What did you find most surprising? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the past, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more deep dives into hidden history. See you next time.